Imagine you are driving down a pitch-black, snow-covered mountain road in the dead of winter. You take a sharp turn, lose control, and crash into a tree. A passing school bus driver sees you shivering by your wrecked car. He offers help. You tell him not to call the police. He drives home and calls them anyway. Exactly 16 minutes later, a police officer arrives at the crash scene. The car is locked. The airbags are deployed. But you are completely gone. This is exactly what happened to 21-year-old Maura Murray on the night of February 9th, 2004. But the crash was only the final piece of a much darker, much more confusing puzzle. Because earlier that day, Maura had emptied her bank account, lied to her professors about a death in the family, and packed her entire college dorm room into boxes. Did Maura Murray run away to start a new life? Was she taken by someone in the dark of the New Hampshire woods? Or did the freezing elements claim her? Today, we are breaking down one of the most baffling disappearances of the 21st century. To understand the strange circumstances of her disappearance, we first have to understand who Maura Murray was. At 21 years old, Maura was a nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. She had previously attended the prestigious United States Military Academy at West Point. She was an avid runner and loved hiking in the rugged white mountains of New Hampshire. In short, she was not someone who would easily succumb to panic in the wilderness. But beneath the surface of this promising life, things were beginning to fracture. Sometime before Monday, February 9th, Maura began preparing for a departure. But she didn't tell a single soul. When campus police later searched her dorm room, they found a bizarre scene. Most of her belongings were packed into boxes. The art had been stripped from the walls, and resting ominously on top of one of the boxes was a printed email addressed to her boyfriend, hinting at serious trouble in their relationship. Was Maura planning to leave college forever? Or was this just a temporary escape? The events of February 9th only deepen the mystery. Let's look at the timeline of Monday, February 9th. 1:24 p.m. Maura emails a supervisor at her nursing school. She claims she will be out of town for a week due to a death in the family. According to her own family, this was a complete lie. No one had died. 2:05 p.m. She dials a recorded hotline for booking hotels in Stowe, Vermont. She stays on the line for about 5 minutes. 2:18 p.m. She leaves a 1-minute voicemail for her boyfriend, promising him they would talk later. 3:40 p.m. This is where we get our last confirmed visual of Maura. She stops at an ATM, wearing a dark jacket and jeans, and empties her account, withdrawing $280. The security camera proves she is completely alone. Shortly after, she visits a local liquor store. She spends about $40 on Bailey's Irish Cream, Kahlua, vodka, and a box of Franzia wine. Again, the cameras show her alone. At some point that day, she also picked up blank accident report forms from the Registry of Motor Vehicles. At 3:30 p.m., taking advantage of classes being canceled due to a winter snowstorm, Maura climbs into her black 1996 Saturn 4-door sedan. Inside the car are her clothes, toiletries, college textbooks, and birth control pills. She drives away from UMass Amherst. She doesn't tell her friends. She doesn't tell her family. She simply heads north, driving 2.5 hours toward the freezing, snow-covered mountains of New Hampshire. At roughly 7:27 p.m., a local woman in Haverhill, New Hampshire, hears a loud crash outside her home. She looks out her window to see a car has hit a tree on a sharp, dangerous corner along Route 112. She dials 911. At around 7:30 p.m., a local school bus driver passes the scene. He pulls over. He sees a young woman standing by the crushed front end of the Saturn. The left headlight is completely destroyed. The radiator is pushed into the engine fan. The windshield is cracked, and both airbags have deployed. The bus driver notes that the woman isn't bleeding or visibly injured, but she is cold and shivering. He offers to call for help. She begs him not to, but knowing there is no cell service in the area, the bus driver heads home and makes the call to the sheriff's department at 7:43 p.m. At 7:46 p.m., a Haverhill police officer arrives at the crash site. The red and blue lights illuminate the snowy trees, but the scene is dead silent. The young woman has vanished. In the span of just 16 minutes, from the time the bus driver left to the time the police arrived, Maura Murray disappeared off the face of the earth. When investigators looked at the abandoned car, what they found only raised more chilling questions. The car was locked. Inside and outside the vehicle, police noticed red stains in the snow and on the seats, which appeared to be spilled red wine. In the back seat was an empty beer bottle and a damaged box of Franzia wine. But it was her personal belongings that painted the most confusing picture. Left behind in the locked car was Maura's AAA card, her makeup, her diamond jewelry, and printed driving directions to Burlington, Vermont. More heartbreakingly, she left behind her favorite stuffed animal and a book titled Not Without Peril, a true story about hikers who lost their lives in the exact same White Mountains she had just driven into. If Maura intended to walk away from her life, why leave her money, her jewelry, and her directions behind? Did she wander into the dark, freezing woods to avoid a DUI, eventually succumbing to the cold? If so, despite massive searches with dogs and helicopters, no trace of her has ever been found. Or, in those critical 16 minutes, did another car pull up on that dark, lonely stretch of Route 112? Did Maura accept a ride from the wrong person? Decades have passed since that freezing February night. In February of 2024, investigators released an age progression impression, showing what Maura might look like today in her early 40s. It's a haunting reminder that somewhere out there, a family is still waiting for answers. Maura Murray's disappearance is a story of contradictions. A packed dorm room, but a locked car. A fake story about a family death, but real textbooks packed for studying. A capable, athletic survivor, swallowed whole by the New Hampshire wilderness. What do you think happened in those missing 16 minutes? Did Maura Murray orchestrate her own vanishing? Did she freeze in the woods? Or did she meet foul play on Route 112? Let me know your theories in the comments down below. If you want to see more deep dives into unsolved mysteries, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Thank you for watching, and stay safe out there.